Men chase, boys beg. But legends walk away. The moment you stop running after a woman, something dangerous happens. Something she never saw coming. Her reality shifts. You're not just stepping out of her life, you're pulling the plug on the very fuel that powered her ego. The second you stop feeding her validation, attention, and energy, she feels something she spent her life avoiding. Powerless. Ever seen a woman flip when a man stops caring? 1 minute she's arrogant, entitled, treating you like an option. The next, she's stalking your social media, sending, "Hey stranger," texts, finding the dumbest excuses to reach out. And you're thinking, wait, this is the same woman who ignored me? Number. She doesn't miss you. She misses your energy, your validation, your desire. This is what happens when a man understands his power. And this is why you must walk away. But before we dive into the brutal truth, I want you to do something. Comment below, "I am the prize." Say it, type it, own it. And if you want this kind of unapologetic truth to reach more men who need it, hit subscribe. The algorithm will push this message to the ones still trapped. And together, we'll break the cycle. Number 1, shock and denial. Women don't need strength to control men. They don't need force. They use psychology, manipulation, and power dynamics. And most men fall for it every time. A woman doesn't need to love you to control you. She doesn't even need to care. All she needs to do is keep you wanting her. This is the game. Just enough attention to keep you interested. Just enough affection to make you feel special. Just enough validation to keep you hooked. But the second you feel secure, comfortable, in control, she loses power. She pulls back just enough to keep you chasing. Slower replies, last-minute cancellations, suddenly busy when she used to be eager. And what does the average man do? He pushes harder, more texts, more calls, more effort, exactly what she wanted, because the harder you chase, the more control she has. But here's where everything changes. When a man wakes up, when he stops playing along, he no longer texts first. No more checking in. No more trying to prove his value. He walks away. And the second this happens, she feels it. On the outside, she acts unbothered, pretends not to notice, plays it cool. But on the inside, she's spiraling. No way. He's not really gone. He'll be back. They always come back. That's her belief, because most men do. Most break within days, most fold, most cave. But not this time. You stay silent. You don't chase. You don't feed her ego. That's when the cracks form. She starts testing. A random like, a hey text, watching your stories and waiting. Now, the power flips, because for the first time, she's the one refreshing her phone. She's the one waiting on your reaction. And if you respond, she wins. Proof you were only pretending. But if you don't, if you truly walk away, her illusion of control shatters. Panic turns to doubt. And that's when phase 2 begins. Self-doubt and reflection. At first, she shields herself with denial. He's just playing games. He's trying to make me jealous. He'll get bored and come back. It's a story she tells her ego to soften the sting. But as the silence stretches on, as you still don't reach out, the cracks begin to form. Her certainty wavers. She doesn't want to face the truth, but it lingers heavy and undeniable. For the first time, she's tasting something foreign, something men encounter often, but women rarely experience. Rejection. Men grow accustomed to it. Ghosted. Ignored. Curved. It's almost routine. But for her, rejection is an earthquake. Because for most of her life, the roles were reversed. She had options. She had men competing for her attention, flooding her phone with messages, showering her with compliments, begging for her time. And now, for the first time, someone walked away and stayed gone. That's when the questions creep in. Maybe I wasn't as special as I thought. This doubt eats at her. She lingers longer in front of the mirror. She layers on her makeup with unusual care. She scrolls through your page, hunting for clues, wondering if you've already moved on. Because her identity, her sense of value, was always tied to being desired. And when the man she thought she controlled no longer desires her, she's forced to face a reality she never prepared for. Am I losing my looks? Did he find someone better? Was I not enough? That spiral pulls her deeper until another emotion ignites: jealousy. She starts analysing every like on your posts, checking your followers, scanning the comments. The thought of you with someone else consumes her. On the outside, she may act unbothered, even defiant. But inside, she's unravelling. And this is the paradox. The more she tries to mask the pain, the more it fuels her need to prove she still has power. This is why women often circle back. Not because they truly want the man, but because they can't stand the image of a man moving on without them. The deeper the cut, the greater the desperation, which brings her to the last stage, the rebound, the rationalization, the attempt to rewrite the story so she can live with the loss, the break. That's when her entire world begins to unravel. Stage 3, rationalization and rebound. By now, her emotions are spinning out of control. She's already cycled through shock, denial, panic, and self-doubt. She spent nights staring at her phone, refreshing your social media, wondering why you haven't come back. And now she enters the most destructive phase, rationalization. This is where her mind starts rewriting reality so she doesn't have to face the painful truth. She lost control over a man she thought was beneath her. A man wasn't supposed to walk away. He was supposed to cry, to suffer, to beg. But instead, you're doing the opposite. You're calm. You're not watching her stories. You're not texting. You're unaffected. That's when she begins rewriting history. She has to explain to herself why you walked away without admitting she was the problem. She'll tell herself, I wasn't that into him anyway. He was too obsessed. It was unattractive. He was weak. I deserve better. She'll repeat these lines to her friends, painting you as needy, claiming she ended things first, even when it was you who walked away. She'll act as though she's better off without you. But here's the truth. She's not trying to convince the world. She's trying to convince herself. Deep down, she knows she lost a man with power, a man who couldn't be controlled. And that reality eats at her. She doesn't want to reflect. She doesn't want to admit the mistake. So, what does she do? She rushes into a rebound. She grabs the first man willing to worship her, a man she doesn't truly desire. Not because she loves him, but because she needs him. An emotional bandage to cover the pain of losing you. Someone to fill the gap in her ego, to prove she's still desirable. That's why suddenly her social media changes. Happy pictures, trips, smiles, as if life is perfect. But it's not about happiness. It's about performance. She wants you to see it. She wants you to believe she's already moved on. She wants to spark jealousy. But the truth is, the only person she's hurting is herself. At first, it might look like she's winning. New man, new adventures, more posts, more smiles. But behind the mask, the cracks always start to show. She doesn't actually respect him. Because deep down, she knows the truth about weak men. He was too easy. He didn't make her earn it. He didn't have the self-respect to call out her games. He didn't walk away. He ran toward her the second she showed interest. And no woman respects a man she can control. So what happens? Her attraction fades. She starts noticing he doesn't excite her, doesn't challenge her, doesn't keep her guessing. He gives her no reason to feel like she has something to prove. And soon, she's bored. And when a woman gets bored, she pulls away. She starts texting other guys. She starts going out more. She starts creating distance. By the time he notices, she's already gone. But guess who she thinks about then? You. Because she realizes her biggest mistake. She traded a strong man for a weak one. She downgraded. She gave up power for comfort. And that's the decision she'll regret forever. This is why women come back. Not because they miss you. Not because they love you. But because they thought the grass was greener. And then they discovered it was nothing but desert. They come back because you were the challenge. They replaced you with a doormat. They thought they could do better until they realized they already had the best. And when that realization hits, it's too late because by then you've moved on. You've become unreachable. You've become free. And that is real power. Most men never learn this. They keep chasing. They keep texting. They keep begging. And that's why they keep losing. But the men who understand, the men who walk away and mean it, they're the only ones women respect. Here's the truth. Women don't love men they can control. They only respect the men who refuse to be controlled. Once you understand this, you'll never chase again. You'll never beg for attention. You'll never waste energy proving your worth. Because you'll finally realize you are the prize. If you've made it this far, drop a comment. I am unstoppable. And hit subscribe, because this message needs to reach more men who are still trapped in the cycle. Be the man who walks away. Be the man who controls his life. Be the man who isn't afraid to lose her. Because once you become that man, you'll never lose again.